sharpen your blades because Diablo 4 is getting a new competitive game mode called the Gauntlet. My name is Bloodshed and I'm here with Marcus Kretz. How you doing, friend?
Hey Bloodshed, doing great. I'm excited to talk about the Gauntlet. I assume you're pretty pumped?
As long as I beat everyone in the office, then I think I'll be happy. We also have a very special guest for Q&A today, Kaylee Calder, who's a lead game producer. Welcome, Kaylee.
Hey, it's really great to be here with you guys, and I'm really excited to talk about the Gauntlet.
Yeah, I was telling Marcus, I think it's cool that we have a developer deliver this information publicly. So shout out to Kaylee and all the developers, all the guests we've had come on. The Gauntlet is the first player versus environment competitive game mode coming to Diablo 4. It's part of a larger framework called Trials that holds all this content together. Bonus points if you noticed the in-game tab already. The way it works is every seasonal week it's active. Players in World Tier 4 can compete in a static, non-linear dungeon. That basically means it's designed for you to take whatever pathway you see fit and see who can earn the highest score possible. You earn points by killing monsters, killing bosses, opening chests, all within the 8-minute time limit. To promote as much fairness as possible, everything will be the same for everyone, from the map layout, the shrine placement, boss locations, monster affixes, all identical. Take your character into battle, solo or with friends, tackle and master the Gauntlet with 16 different ladders, separated by class, group size, platform, and of course, hardcore and normal modes. Marcus is now going to take you through the overall design of the Gauntlet.
Thanks, Ruben. So the Gauntlet is designed for mastery. Every week is like a new puzzle for you to figure out. You or your group can develop strategies specific to your build or playstyle. Since the dungeon is non-linear, you will need to decide the best route to take. You're also going to have to figure out the best time to loot chests or to pop pillars. Speaking of pillars, we are adding 2 unique versions to the Gauntlet. The first one we're adding is called the Pillar of Glory. This pillar gives you a score multiplier for the duration of the effect. It's best used when there's lots of monster density to gain the highest score possible, since monster kills grant points. I can definitely see players kiting enemies to these locations to maximize the effect, or pairing it with other pillars where possible. Secondly, we're adding a Pillar of Proving, which respawns all enemies in the area. This one is very fun, and hey, who doesn't love more monsters to kill? These kinds of tools in the Gauntlet allow for some creative ways to score points, which could be different from what other players are doing, helping to set yourself apart from the competition. And if that wasn't enough for you, in the Gauntlet, bosses spawn shrines when they die. We're now entering a Shrineception. You're going to need to bring a barb on your squad. If you get too deep in the Gauntlet, you might need a kick. All these additions really incentivize us to think strategically when approaching each weekly Gauntlet map. Bloodshed is now going to walk you through how the leaderboards work. Take it away.
Once you complete your first run of the Gauntlet, you'll be placed in a named rank. We're calling them seals. As you attain higher scores, you will gain better seals. Each will have predetermined score thresholds, so you could actually technically skip right to the final seal if you're a beast. The seals are Blooded, Steadfast, Iron-Willed, and Worthy. The top 1,000 players will be displayed on the leaderboard, and each Tuesday the leaderboard will reset, and depending on your named rank, you will earn an emblem and some loot caches. The gear level you receive scales depending on your seal rank, so worthy players should be getting 925 level items. These ranks will serve as a bearing for how well you're doing. Remember, the leaderboard only houses the top 1,000 players for that particular ladder, so climbing through the seals is a nice way to indicate where you are in your journey. In addition, the top 10 players each week for every ladder are going to be immortalized forever in the Hall of the Ancients. Yes, you'll be able to go back years later and show your children just how much of a badass you were. All right, Marcus, what questions do we have for Kaylee?
So for Q&A, we try to think of questions the community might have, or sometimes we just want to see how developers approach certain mechanics. So Kaylee, shrines only spawn when a boss is killed, right? When you're exploring the Gauntlet, you're only going to come across pillars. So for the shrines that spawn when a boss is killed, do those change at all?
So when you're killing one of the bosses in the Gauntlet, they are always going to drop the same shrine every single time. So you can kind of rely on that every time you run through the Gauntlet. And that shrine is going to be one of the ones you could run into in the world. So you're going to have some variety there too.
I have a question. When people are placed on the leaderboard, can we see what build they're running at the time of completion?
So you will get a shortcut to the player's profile, which will show you the build they currently have, but we do not have a snapshot of their winning build that they had at the time. But we are going to be looking at ways to further improve the Gauntlet and Trials in the future. So if the mode proves really popular, it's definitely something we consider.
Nice. So Kaylee, do you have any tips and tricks for new players trying out the Gauntlet? I know you unlock it once you hit World Tier 4, but is it really something only level 100 players should be attempting?
So yeah, if you're below level 100, you are certainly welcome to give it a go, take a stab of it, throw down the proverbial gauntlet, as they say. It's definitely going to be more of a challenge. It is definitely built with mastery in mind for people who are comfortable in that level 100 space. For newer players, you are going to want to have a build that you both enjoy playing and you have a good understanding of. And you should have plenty of time to do that as you're leveling up. And then it's all about bringing that curiosity, figuring out the puzzle that each gauntlet kind of provides in which path you're going to take, how you're going to kill as many monsters as you can to maximize those points, open chests at the right time, all that kind of thing. I personally think it's going to be really fun to tackle this as a newer player with friends in a party. So you can help each other with your builds and figure out the best route together that's going to really help you hit those seals. And you never know, maybe you'll surprise yourself.
I love it. To my knowledge, we can use consumables inside the Gauntlet, but can I just swap my skills around, swap my gear around when I'm inside?
No, you're not going to be able to swap your gear or skills once you go in, so you're going to want to make sure you're fully prepared before you kind of enter. You can use consumables so you can kind of maximize your build on the fly as you're playing through. And again, this is one of those things that we'll look at making improvements to or changes to as the Gauntlet is live and everybody's enjoying it.
I'm definitely ready for the Gauntlet, so big shout out to Kaylee for joining us and providing more perspective. Well, that seals it for today. See y'all in Sanctuary.